This 20-inch fat tire step-through electric bike is called the Troxus Lynx, and in today's video, we're gonna review it.
So this is actually pretty cool. This is the first e-bike I've seen that has both a torque sensor and a cadence sensor.
But do not buy the Lynx just yet. We gotta crack this thing open, take a closer look at it, take it out for a full review.
Brakes work? Yeah, they do.
And see whether or not it's worth the money. So on this e-bike, it's refreshing to see we'll be rolling on some street tires. They are 4 inches wide, 20 inches tall, and they are the Kenda Cursor. Don't think I've actually seen these ones before. Spoke wheels to help keep the weight down. Sounds like we got some metal fenders over here. Indeed. And flipping this wheel around, looks like we'll be rolling on some big stopping power courtesy of 203mm Tektro rotors on the front wheel. Wonder what's on back. The frame on this one is yellow, but they do have other colors linked below this video in the description box. Battery is frame integrated and will drop out the bottom. It is a 48 volt, 20 amp hour, 960 watt hours of energy battery. Oh, that feels like 12 pounds. Any other guesses?
I'll try.
What do you think?
13 and a half.
You want to guess, bro? Verdict is 11.0. We were all wrong, bro. Charger is Troxus branded. It is a 3 amp charger, so 20 divided by 3 would be the charge time from empty. Should be about 6.6 hours. Seat is branded Troxus. It's got a quick release lever for easy adjustments. And here's what the shape's looking like. Pretty wide seat. Got a little bit of squish and a handle. Diameter of the seat post is 30.9 millimeters. Might be good to know if you want some rear suspension because this is a hardtail, meaning there's only suspension on the front, but the party's gonna be in the back on this bike. Oh, actually maybe on the front too with this front rack, because this one has a big old wood rack on the rear. Check it out. And it looks like this rear rack does bolt onto the frame with a bolt here and a bolt here, and it is rated for 45 kilograms or 100 pounds. Zephyr has found some snacks. Oh gosh, he knows he's in trouble. Shimano Altus derailleur, and similar to a lot of these cargo style e-bikes with a long chainstay, this one has this little cog right here to kind of keep the chain, well, that should be up here, I believe. Keep the chain off the ground, give you a little more clearance. And we will have a center mount kickstand. Careful with these ones not to scratch up your floors if you bring it inside your home. 8 speeds on a Shimano cassette. It is a Bafang hub motor, rated for 750 watts. These center mount kickstands always makes it a little easier to put the handlebars on. Handlebars have a rise, and the front wheel drops right on there. Bolts on, no quick release. They do give you tools and pedals. Pedals are metal. Chainring has a guard on one side, not both. So let's see if we lose our chain today. But before we go anywhere, we should take a look at the cockpit. Looks like we got rubber grips held in place by a bolt. 8 speeds on the Shimano shifter. Take a peek at the display. Branded Troxus, we'll fire it up in a minute. Controls, pretty basic layout. Thumb throttle on the left. And Tektro hydraulic brake levers. In addition to the rear rack, you also get a front rack, which is rated to safely carry 33 pounds, and there's a headlight attached to the front. 4 eyelets on the rack itself, and before I forget, the front suspension has a basic lock and unlock adjustment. No micro adjustments between the 2 positions. So before we catch any fares, we'll throw this battery on. But let's fire this display up, see what it looks like. We do get a color display, a familiar display. It gives us our battery readout here in terms of a percentage on the top, as well as 5 bars. Miles per hour, pedal assist. Is that turn signals? So these are turn signals. Okay, cool. But we do get 5 levels of pedal assist. Hold the I button to go to odometer, max speed, average speed. So taking a peek at the back, we do get turn signals. Put your left one on or your right one on, or press in the middle and have a hazard light. You do get a brake light. And then if you turn the lights on, yeah, that looks pretty bright. And it will flash when you grab the brake lever. We do get a light up front. It is mounted on the rack, so when you turn your wheel, it will not rotate with the wheel. Bro, come on, man. So to show you the size of this e-bike, I'm 6'5", inseam 34. Center mount kickstand will help you load this thing up with weight. Like if you have a side kickstand and you're sitting to the side, throw a bunch of weight on it, might knock the bike over. Seat on minimum height. Me getting on this bike, I gotta adjust those handlebars. Here's what my pedal stroke would look like on minimum height.
So this bike would be very suitable for a shorter rider, being that it has the shorter 20-inch wheels as well as a step-through frame, and the seat can come down pretty low. And it has a nice little rise on the handlebars. I do need to move them a little forward. But since they are long, you can kind of tilt them, make it for a shorter reach for a shorter individual. For a taller individual, you might want to bump this seat on up to max height. Comes up pretty high, makes it almost level with the handlebar height. But here's what my pedal stroke would look like on this electric bicycle. Ooh, hopefully I didn't put any more scratches on the floor. And before we go rip this thing outside, I do want to show you there's a Tektro hydraulic brake here. And what size is that rotor? Can't tell. Tektro 180 on the rear. So about 75% of your stopping power is on the front, where we get the larger 203mm rotor. Big brakes on a bike designed to carry big weight is, well, never a bad thing. All right, dudes, let's try out the Troxus Lynx Cargo e-bike. Apparently this thing has a torque sensor and a cadence sensor. So I'm pretty pumped to try that out. That has not been on any other e-bike I've tried so far. Per usual, we'll fire up the Strava so we can track our official range on the 20 amp hour 48 volt battery. 500 pounds is the listed cargo capacity on this thing. Weigh-ins time, baby. So it says 78.8, but I am picking up about 5 pounds of weight here. Probably just over 80 with the battery on there. Since there's no little cycling guy right there, we are on torque sensor mode. So to switch between torque sensor and cadence sensor, you hold the, I think the plus button? Yeah, so you see this little guy come up here. Now it's in cadence sensor mode, so we'll talk more about that soon. I just threw it back on cadence sensor mode, and here is what the headlights look like in here. So it is on that front rack. When you turn the wheels, it doesn't change the angle of your headlight. You could always throw it on the handlebars if you want that. So it is a cargo style e-bike. Let's see how it handles the 20% grade on throttle only, pedal assist 5, cadence sensor mode. Torque will be important, right? Let's give it a go. Full throttle. I'm not gonna pedal at all. I weigh 200 pounds and it seems to be doing just fine, pulling us right up the 20% grade with a 22 amp controller, 48 volt system, respectively powerful electric bicycle. Popping out here on this sunny day, the display is a little bit dim. If you press and turn on the lights, it actually makes it a little bit more dim. Good for night riding, not for day riding. Let's try the polarized lenses here. You can see the display, not the brightest, but I can see it. And we are actually on pedal assist 5 torque sensor mode right now. So what a torque sensor does, if you're not familiar, basically how hard you press on the pedals, it will give you power in proportion to how hard you press. This is a nice feature if you're trying to ride an electric bike as like an exercise tool. It's like more of an intuitive feeling system. Now, if we were on cadence sensor mode on pedal assist 5, which we're on right now, it would just be launching probably. We'll try that here soon. But let's bump it on down to pedal assist 0. That would take away all power. Let's try pedal assist 1 on the torque sensor. What's this torque sensor feeling like? So on pedal assist 1, it makes you work for it, man. I'm really starting to press on these pedals pretty hard. I'm actually on gear number 8. I'll bump it down a few here. And let's try pedal assist 4 now on torque sensor mode. So pretty responsive, very responsive torque sensor actually, especially for a hub drive motor. Yeah, pedal assist 4 here starting off, just giving a little bit of help here. Doesn't show me how many power and watts or amps or anything like that up here on the display. So gear number 8 here on torque sensor mode, pedal assist 5, cruising at about 15 miles an hour. Feels like a naturally enhanced bicycle riding experience with this torque sensor. For curiosity, let's bump this thing down to 1 and mash the throttle. What kind of power does that give us? I think all of it. Now, as a dude who does mostly street riding, I'm actually pretty excited about these Kenda Cursor tires, which are a street-friendly tread. Should optimize our range and give us a little bit more grip compared to the typical knobby tires we see on like almost every fat tire e-bike. Would be nice if they had adjustable suspension. It's either lock or unlock on the front fork. Probably fine for most riding. If you were carrying some weight on the front though, could maybe cause the suspension to compress more than you want to. So while stopped here in the shade, if we just hold that plus button, you're gonna see a little bicycle riding man pop up right about there. And now we are on cadence mode. So this is actually pretty cool. This is the first e-bike I've seen that has both a torque sensor and a cadence sensor. So as you know, cadence sensor will just basically give you, well, let's just put it on 5 here and see what it does. So about quarter rotation. Well, it kind of eases on the power a little bit, but I'm just pretty much ghost pedaling, not helping it at all right now. And it's just giving me all the power, all the juice, man, just taking me up to Well, it says class 2 e-bike, so it is topping us out at 20 miles per hour right now. I have to get in the settings to see about unlocking that in a little bit. Yeah, it'll top us out at 20 miles an hour, throttle or pedaling. But what the cadence sensor allows you to do is be lazy, I guess. So it doesn't matter if you're actually helping it or not, but on pedal assist 1, it'll take us up to about 8-9 miles an hour. Whereas, you know, if we were on the torque sensor mode, we could go faster than that. We just have to press harder. This will just, no matter what we do with our legs, we're gonna go 9 miles an hour. Let's try 2 now. 2 gives us a nice gentle power delivery up to about 12. 3, just a little bit more gentle power delivery. So this bike is not like abrupt in its power delivery. Some of the cheap crap bikes, you know, they'll be pretty jarring. And let's try pedal assist 4. So now we can really feel the juice, and I don't have to like press on those pedals at all. It looks like I'm pedaling, but dude, I'm not pedaling. Now it is a hardtail e-bike. You could throw a suspension seat post on there to make your ride a little bit more smooth. That's not going to give the rear cargo any suspension, however. Pretty typical of most cargo style e-bikes. And front fork there just bottomed out because there is no adjustments. It's either open or locked. Relatively soft front suspension. Let's throw it on pedal assist 5. Pop on out here past this sign. What is that clinging around down there? So ghost pedaling here, pedal assist 5 will take us up to 20 on the cadence sensor mode. The torque sensor let us go faster. I'm gonna hold down the plus here, take that off. Now we're on torque sensor mode, and yeah, we're still capped at about 20. Wonder if we can get into the settings and change that. So this e-bike does have turn signals. We'll flip one on here. It's got signals on the back, not on the front, but that's pretty cool. Being in traffic right now would be nice to have 28, but if you unlock 28, it's gonna hurt your range significantly. Decently peppy bike off the line. I wonder what the 0 to 20 is.
Watch your videos.
Are you serious? Nice to meet you, man. What's your favorite?
Are you doing a review right now?
Yeah, man. I'm about to see what the 0 to 20 is on this one right here. So now would probably be a good time to unlock this thing, if we can. Actually flipping through the manual here, it does not appear you can unlock it. Gee, screw it, I looked it up on YouTube. Oh, cool, yeah, there we go. So we can change it up to 50 miles an hour. I'll probably do it 56 miles an hour. You did not see that here. Do this at your own risk. I'm not responsible for what you do on your e-bike. Throttle only, ready, go. Oh yeah, pretty peppy. 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and throttle will cut us off still right at 20. So definitely a pretty peppy electric cargo bike. What if we start pedaling a little bit? Will it let us go faster than 20? Oh yeah, we can go faster than 20 now. So let's flip a blinker on, whip this thing around, and get on the throttle and do a top speed run. We gotta start doing a little pedaling here. So it's cadence sensor mode. I'm not helping it. I'm just ghost pedaling. But we're doing 25 miles an hour, 26 miles an hour, 27 miles an hour according to the onboard, 26 according to GPS. 27.3, 26 according to GPS. So this is not like a high speed kind of bike, but we can get up there to some respectively quick speeds for a bicycle. So of course these street tires are gonna be great riding on the street. We'll see how they do out there soon. We got the mobility scooter taking off to the races. Let's kick that cadence sensor on though and get a little speed.
Uh-oh, not really.
He thought they were going fast. Let's bump it on down a gear or 2 and try street tires in the sand up the hill. Decently powerful, or really pretty powerful cargo style electric bike with no rear suspension. My goodness, is that harsh going over that. So yeah, you can throw a suspension seat post on it if you're gonna be doing like some off-roading on your electric bike, but you know, I think most people are gonna be keeping this thing on the street, right? So if you don't have a wide enough tire, you will wipe out on the sand. Let's go see how this one will hold up. So on pedal assist 5, we'll get out here on the boardwalk, try throttle, see how this feels. Oh my goodness, there's a little bit of sand there. But we're gonna bust right on through the sand, drop on down a gear 2 here, and keep it going, keep it going. And we do not have the knobby tread tires on this, so we're not gonna get quite as much grip, you know, coming around the turns. And oh man, I don't know what the iPix rating on this thing is. We're gonna get away from here just a bit, and we'll see if we can get up the hill here, drop down a gear, maybe have to pedal here just a little bit. So a pretty torquey bike. It does have the shorter 20-inch wheels, which you typically get more torque out of. And I'm putting my feet down a little bit here to keep it rolling, but Definitely a respectively powerful electric bike with 22 amp controller, 48 volt system. We're rolling along here on the sand. Pretty sweet. What?
You're riding a bike on dirt, you can fall.
Oh, sometimes I do actually.
Oh.
Hopefully that doesn't happen today. Gotta love the pink Cybertruck. As if a Cybertruck by itself wasn't loud enough. And we've reached the about 50% mark on our trip. It is showing 73% on the battery. We're gonna run it up to the top of that cliff, see what kind of number it does on the battery. There's a 12% average grade. I just blipped the brake there a little bit. So we do have a really long wheelbase, pretty torquey bike. This thing has no trouble climbing this on throttle only. On your left, sorry. And going up the California incline, throttle only. Let's see what kind of speeds we can hit. Showing 10 miles an hour, 14, 16, 17, 18, 18.4. Somebody trying to get their legs ran over, bro. What a place to post up. 18.6 going up the California incline, throttle only. I weigh 200 pounds. We're gonna get a little brake test in here for about 20 miles an hour. Coming in hot, we do have the 203 millimeter rotor on front, so plenty stopping power.
Brakes work?
Yeah, they do.
Brake check.
Yeah, they work. 203 millimeter rotor up front, plenty of stopping power on these Tektro hydraulic brakes. And then 180 millimeter on the rear. So, I mean, most of your stopping power is on the front. Definitely above average stopping power on this bike. What's up, dude? How you liking the new bike?
I like it.
Awesome, man. So we're gonna head on home, check the final range, but first, let me share my final thoughts on the Troxus Lynx Cargo. So obviously the most unique thing about this cargo style e-bike is it has the torque sensor as well as cadence sensor. You can just switch it to whatever mode you want. Pretty awesome little feature. I have been running it mostly in cadence sensor mode, although the torque sensor on this e-bike is good. It says it can tow 500 pounds of cargo. So for a cargo style e-bike, you know, that's pretty freaking solid. And based on my experience, this bike is pretty torquey. It can pull us up to 20% grade. You can ride out on the sand. And we got that rack on front and back. Pretty solid cargo style e-bike option. If you do want to grab one, consider buying through that link down below this video. It would help give you the best price on this e-bike and also help support my reviews. And of course, I greatly appreciate your support. But let's head on home, check the final range. All right, dudes, just crossed over 18 miles, hour and 30-minute ride time, average speed of almost 12 miles an hour. So it is showing 3 out of 5 bars and reading out 54% on the battery. It's a pretty typical range for a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery pack. I think this will be sufficient, you know, for doing some cargo style e-biking. But if you do want to grab a Troxus Lynx Cargo bike, click on the link below this video, buy through that link in the description box. It'll give you the best price and also help support my reviews. Also help support my reviews here on Tail Happy TV, and I greatly appreciate your support. But if you don't want to buy this bike, maybe you should go watch this video next. Catch you over there.